It's time for the Jane and Ronan show. Hi, it's Jane. Boy, we've having rain after rain after rain again today. Or this week, it seems, the whole weekend rained off and on. Which that prevents me from getting out and, cutting that bamboo that I'd like to get cut back and cut down. So it's been just rather interesting. I think our pastor made a statement about it being having rained 4,000 something days out of the year, which feels like it. It hasn't, but it feels like it. All right, I do have a couple of things that are finished, and I'll show those. Those are mostly to go in the shop. If I can get Ronan out from under my feet, he's trying to weave in and out of the threads and whatnot, and it's rather annoying. He's being a cat, total cat. I have a friend who calls her cat Sasshole, and that's kind of what he's doing today. And lately he's been real clingy, so, here it is. I wanted a cat that would be all over me and in my lap and everything, and now I'm like, get away. Go do cat stuff. All right, the blanket that I have been crocheting on, we are at, oops, got it upside down. Helps to have it put up the right side. We are at about, it is actually 57 inches from this end to this end. Well, 57 and a half. And then this way, I am at 33. With this one will be 34 inches. And I think that's probably good enough for a lap robe. So I will finish up probably this row, and then probably finish off. And then I'll have that as a finished object. Let me see if I can get off and around the cat. Yeah, he's got to go check it out now. I'm sure he's going to try to lay on it. Get away. But, didn't get very much done on my knit hat. Did get a couple of rows. Just haven't had time to sit down and do that. Did work a little bit on another crochet hat. And I don't know where I put the other one. I did get one completed, and I'm working on a second one. I've got another 6 rows to go before that'll be finished and ready to get off the hook. And apparently I've lost a hook somewhere. I hate when that happens, because you know what happens? It's one of my favorite hooks. It's one of the Edamos. So that means, I'm going to have to buy another one here. So I'm going to have to go online and order another one. It's just the way it rolls. It's the way it happens. The only other things I did get finished is I got a couple of, I don't have the tote bags and hang on, let me go get those. Knock the camera over. Anyway, I did get a couple of, and I've just got a couple. The other ones are cut. I just haven't gotten them sewn. One of the ladybug drawstrings with just a red interior. And of course, that's my normal size. Did get a tote bag, same thing, just a basic tote bag, red interior, box bag. They both have about a 5-inch box bag, roughly. So those, and then I did quite a few of the what I label my chubbies grocery bag holders. This is that patriotic chicken. There are 2 of those. I have 2 of the, and these are in that chubby group. And these I think are about maybe 12 inches, 12 and a half inch long, and about 8 inches wide. There are 2 of the birdhouse. Oh my God. Wish you could see this cat. Belly up. He's such a goofball sometimes. And then the little daisy print, there are 2 of those. I have 2 of these in this lighter pink. I call it a pinkish mauve. It's got butterflies and kind of some flowers on it. And these are a little bit longer. They're not quite the 20-inch long, but they're probably about 18 inches long. And then I have the normal size, which are 8 by 20 long. And this is the seahorses and turtles. There are 2 of those. I do still have to get the pictures edited and then put up on the Etsy shop, and that will take a little bit to get that done. So that is next to get finished. Like I said, I have quite a few other bags that are cut. I'm working on something that's a little different design that includes some iron-ons from some different companies, and they're pretty little iron-ons that I thought I would just add to the bags. A couple of different sizes, and I'll give you an example like that. I just think that's very pretty, and there's a couple of different other ones, and yes, they are all religious. Gee, I'm religious. Who would have figured that? So I'm just playing with these to see how they work out. I'd originally got, as I was saying before the battery died, I actually purchased these. These are vinyl iron-on patches. I originally had purchased these to use them for to go on Bible covers, possibly maybe a small patch where the Bible, on the Bible bag, you know, those kind of things. So, yeah. So I'd done that, and I thought about maybe making a tote or 2 with some of them, but I don't know. We'll see. They're not something you could use on a darker print. So that would have to be an area where it will be a lighter print. So the most likely I would have to do maybe some quilting patches or a quilt-like type patch for those to be able to see the actual print there. But yeah, kind of looking at things, playing with things, see what I want to do with them. Like I said, I picked up a couple of them, they're different sizes. A couple of them I picked up so I could iron them on. A couple of shirts that I have that are just plain. And so yeah, just gonna go from there with that. All right, are you ready for a little what in Tarnation? I know I am. Okay, this one I thought was cute. Huge alligator cited for suspicion of being a dinosaur in North Carolina. A North Carolina sheriff's office assisted with the capture of a nearly 400-pound alligator and joked the reptile was cited for suspicion of being a dinosaur without proper papers. The Onslow County Sheriff's Office said on social media that deputies responded alongside with North Carolina Wildlife Resources personnel when the prehistoric perp was caught loitering near the double yellow line on Old 30 Road. The gator, dubbed Pepe by the sheriff's office, was estimated to weigh between 350 and 400 pounds. The nearly 10-foot reptile has been cited for suspicion of being a dinosaur without proper papers, public loitering with intent to sunbathe and obstructing traffic, said the sheriff's office. The alligator was safely relocated with no injuries to humans or reptiles. You gotta love bears. When they do things that you just don't expect them to do, and they look darn cute when they're doing it. Bear trapped using doughnuts after soak in a hot tub. Florida bear seen enjoying a resident's hot tub and taking a long backyard nap was later captured and relocated with the help of doughnuts. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission said the bear was spotted in Punta Gorda neighborhood on Sunday. The Bruin was caught on camera taking a soak in the resident's hot tub before removing the cushions from an outdoor couch and taking a 6-hour nap in the backyard. FWC personnel used hazing techniques to encourage the bear to leave the property, and it ended up scaling a tree in a nearby vacant lot. The bear descended from the tree Monday and was ensnared in a trap baited with doughnuts. Wildlife officers said the bear was relocated to a state park near Punta Gorda. And now we have a lizard on the loose. Large black and white tegu lizard found wandering California park. A large black and white tegu lizard spotted on the loose in California was safely captured by employees at a public park. Santa Clara County Park said on social media that maintenance staff and park rangers worked together when the Argentine tegu was spotted at the dam at Grant Lake in Joseph D. Grant County Park. Santa Clara County Animal Services and the California Department of Fish and Wildlife were contacted and safe transport was arranged. The tegu will be held by Santa Clara County Animal Services pending adoption should no rightful owner claim the reptile. The department is thrilled that the tegu was found safe and sound and is on its way to finding a home. Now, when I first read this story, my first thought is, what is all the big nonsense about this? Chinese bank barred from offering customers free Labubu dolls? And I may be mispronouncing that. Chinese bank was ordered to stop its practice of enticing new customers by offering them free Labubu dolls. Ping An Bank, based in Sichuan, recently announced a promotion that would award new customers who deposited at least $7,000, kept it in their account for at least 3 months with the Labubu, popular stuffed toy sold by Pop Mart. It's a cute doll. The National Financial Regulatory Administration's Beijing branch is barring the bank from offering the free toys and other non-banking related perks. Regulators said they are concerned that the promotion and other similar promotions at other banks could drive up banking costs. Labubu dolls were created by artist Kane Sing Lung and are sold in blind boxes at Pop Mart locations. The dolls, cute monsters with sharp-toothed smiles, became valuable collector's items after being sported by celebrities including Blackpink singer Lisa and Rihanna. Now the next couple of this next story I think is a very sweet story. And it's amazing that these kids had enough wherewithal to think about doing this. Oregon middle schoolers designed prosthetics for a paralyzed dog. Students at an Oregon middle school used recycled materials to design and build a prototype prosthetic for a dog with a spinal injury. Seventh graders at Valley Catholic Middle School in Beaverton were challenged to create a prototype prosthetic for Ember, a 16-week-old Labradoodle whose back legs were paralyzed as the result of a spinal injury. The project served as a final exam for the school's STEM program. The school's STEM teacher, school STEM teacher, Susan Fu, told Cat2 TV, the goal of the project is to challenge students to apply their knowledge to a real-world scenario. The students' designs, which were all constructed from recycled materials, were tested using a stuffed animal. School said there was a possibility of more successful designs from the class being 3D printed in full size to see if they can help Ember walk. I think that's amazing. You know, what is it with animals that go off and, decide to just take a walk around the city? Mystery sheep on the lam wrangled in Milwaukee. Animal control officers in Milwaukee experienced a unique situation when they were called to round up a nearly 200-pound sheep wandering loose in the city. The Milwaukee Area Domestic Animal Control Commission said local police received a report of a sheep on the lam on Forest Home Avenue on Friday evening. Sheep was located around 23rd and Rogers and was loaded into a transport van. We were going to put him inside our facility, and then he got here and we realized he's way too big to go inside. Maddock Representative Kate Hartland told WISN TV. She said the organization created an outdoor space for the nearly 200-pound sheep and set about helping the animal to cool down with shade and water. He was booking it. Even the officer who brought him in said he was really running down Forest Home. So he was panting. He was exhausted. He was stressed out, Hartland said. Sheep is now being fostered by an Ozaukee County farm. Hartland said the farm has offered to adopt the sheep if its owner can't be found. Maddock officials said they suspect the sheep may have escaped from a trailer while being transported through the city. He was really friendly. He was very sweet. So please call us if you happen to see a goat or sheep or something running around downtown Milwaukee. Not something you normally see, but we're here to help if need be. And there's a link to a video. I suggest watching the video. It is a cute interview, and it is also humorous. This next story, I think, is rather interesting what these children chose to do. And when I first read the title, after being No Kings Protest Week, my first thought was, were they playing No Kings Protest or what? That was just my first thought, okay? Because we see a lot of things that happen during these protests, primarily mostly peaceful except for the shootings and some of the damage that was done. So, and the illegals that had Molotov cocktails, that was the worst of it. But, world's largest game of red light, green light played in California. A fitness education group in California broke a Guinness World Record by gathering 1,423 people to play the playground game red light, green light. CF Fitness Incorporated, an education-oriented group aimed at promoting physical fitness at schools, gathered students from the Anaheim Elementary School District and their families to play the record-breaking game at the Yorby Park in Anaheim. The participants also included students who traveled in from other districts, as well as local firefighters, police officers, and city officials. The game ended up breaking the record with 1,423 participants. It was definitely an afternoon filled with lots of energy, and I think my face hurt from smiling too much. Guinness Records adjudicator Brittany Dunn said after the successful attempt, "The children were all really great and so eager to participate. I love that they all took the attempt so seriously." And one of the older police officers present decided he wanted to participate in the game as well, which made the children happy. And I thought it was a great reminder that even adults need to play in their lives too, she said. Now, it is a cute video. It's a beautiful video, so I hope you will go check that out. And now, the last story comes from the "Are you kidding me?" section. But I guess people have actually tried it. TSA. Costco cards do not count as real ID. The U.S. Transportation Security Administration is warning travelers of a real important piece of airport protocol. Costco membership cards do not count as real ID. The TSA, which began enforcing the requirement for real ID while traveling last month, said on social media that acceptable substitutes for the state-issued identification cards do not include wholesale warehouse memberships. I can't believe they even had to say that. We love hot dogs and rotisserie chickens as much as the next person, but please stop telling people their Costco card counts as a real ID because it absolutely does not, the TSA said on X. The post did not specify what people or entities were spreading the misinformation. Probably on TikTok, Facebook. Accepted substitutes for real IDs at U.S. airports include passports, border crossing, and permanent resident cards. The Real ID Act was passed in 2005, but implementation was delayed multiple times, most recently in 2022 due to the backlogs stemming from the COVID-19 pandemic. And there's no excuse not to get a real ID. And some of the stories that people are putting out there about married women can't get it, no, bull hockey. That's what I'm going to say. Calling bull on that. Because that is the biggest bunch of nonsense I've ever seen. If you have followed the law, as far as getting your name changed when you're married, if you changed your name, or even if you went to the Social Security office, which you are supposed to do within 30 days of getting married, showing them your marriage certificate so they know to put your husband's information on your file as well, so that if he dies before you do, that you may be able to collect his Social Security, which may be higher than yours. I don't know where it is that somewhere along the line that most people don't follow the correct documentation that they need to do when they get married. And if you didn't take your husband's married name and you only took a portion of it, like say you put your last name / his last name, or I have friends who took their husband's last name and then have the dash with their maiden name. That's fine, but you need to make sure you've documented it somewhere So you don't have that issue. So I don't know. It just seems a bit ridiculous. And as far as divorce, I'll tell you, I've had to take divorce papers in when I changed my driver's license in the past too. You have to take that kind of stuff into Social Security when you get divorced. I mean, we have those kind of rules all over the place, but for some reason people think that they're exempt from them. You're not. It's just you got away with it and nobody cared. That's all there is to it. And usually those people, like my friend who carries her husband's last name, but has the dash behind and her maiden name, she actually went to court to get it changed, and so she's got the court documentation. So it's really not that hard to get a real ID. I have a friend who's 16-year-old, just passed his driver's test. He has a real ID. So, and of course, she had a daughter at 17, got a real ID, no issue. I know a lot of other married women have had no issue getting that. And if you've got a passport, even if you go to get a passport, you have to provide a lot of documentation. It's not difficult to do, folks. And it's easy to get your documentation. If you've lost it, you simply write to the state where you got married in or whatever, or where you were born, and you get a copy of your birth certificate. Many of you are lucky you can go in to that local, usually it's your public service buildings, and apply for it and pay $10. Mine cost me $30 to get a copy of it. But that's because I was born in Colorado, and they charged this, at the time they were charging $19.95 to ship it to you. And of course, if you keep the container that they ship to you, that's also documentation of where you live. So, I don't know. It's just crazy. All right, today's devotion comes from, as always, with God, I always have hope. Supernatural confidence. But the following night the Lord stood by him and said, Be of good cheer, Paul, for as you have testified for me in Jerusalem, so you must also bear witness at Rome. Acts 23:11. Imagine being surrounded by an angry mob intent upon killing you without a second thought. Many of us would have been terrified at the prospect of being surrendered to the mob, or stoned or kept in Roman chains, ultimately led to a grisly death. Yet despite these risks the horrors the Apostle Paul faced, he had a remarkable confidence in God. He had been there before, and he knew that Jesus was capable of delivering him from whatever scenario in which he found himself. And even if God did not deliver him, Paul had experienced enough of God's kindness and faithfulness to trust in his plan. After overcoming the shock of seeing Jesus in our jail cell, many of us might have complained that despite this short-term good news, we were certain to meet our ultimate demise in Rome at the hands of Cedar. Yet the knowledge of Jesus' supernatural and at times visible presence was all that Paul needed to press on toward a martyr's fate. We may not presently be faced with such dramatic threats, yet Jesus' presence is as available to us as it was to Paul. Whatever you face, you can have supernatural confidence in God's power and goodness. Reflect. Where do I need supernatural confidence in God's power and goodness? Pray. Father God, in whatever trials or conflicts I'm facing, may I remember the ways that you acted in power and love on behalf of countless Christians before me. As I follow you, fill me with the same supernatural confidence that gave Paul boldness for you to the point of death. Declare, God gives me supernatural confidence. Act. Reach out to someone who has exhibited supernatural confidence and ask him or her to share the things that God has done to build this confidence in them and in you, to you. All right, that's it for today's video. I'll see you again soon. In the meantime, everybody have a great weekend. These bags should be up in the shop by the time you see this. And yeah, that's it. Bye.